अभी लॉग इन करके देखो 5 वेटिंग रूम है अभी भी तैयार।
इसमें लिंक नहीं आई है मगर सर आपने जो मैसेज भेजा
इसकी
आईडी पासवर्ड से अंदर ले लो।
हाँ तो मैं भेज रहा हूँ लिंक अभी।
He's always है कि हम एक दूसरे को कॉम्प्लीमेंट करें तो ये आप बताइए। हाँ हाँ Ram is junior to me in pharma. Then I was there in different industry. Then I think switched to now. Then PhD. Then life is there. Sectorial differences because once feel comfortable in academics, some other feel नहीं यार इधर चले जाए उधर चले जाए. But the protocol remains same sir. I've been saying in different industries. But protocol तो industry का या किसी भी से का तो है. नहीं हमने खुद का शुरू किया था और दूसरे बहुत सारे काम किए हैं मैंने लाइफ में। फिर मेरा एक जो पर्सनल जो प्रोफाइल है वो इसी को सूट करता था तो लाइफ लास्ट में 8-15 साल होने को आ गए। हाँ डिपेंड्स ऑन योर पर्सनालिटी अगर वो सूट करे तो ही करना चाहिए अदरवाइज बहुत
योगिता तुम आ गए उसमें आ जाओ जल्दी मैंने भेज दिया है क्योंकि
सबसे बड़ी बात है कि हाँ पैसे ही नहीं है सर्वाइवल भी नहीं हो पा रहा अभी तो हमारे। हाँ हाँ टीचिंग इज नोवेयर नाउ टीचिंग इज नोवेयर
एडेड सबको लेना चालू कर दिया ना मैंने।
I understand sir I understand नहीं but the seniors those who are on the top the hierarchy is their line वो जो एक pyramid है ना वही सबसे tough है like initially 55 years then 60 years now they are 65 I don't know जब हम उस एज पे पहुंचेंगे then they will ask कि till that well sir है ना फिर हाँ फिर initially it was 10 years for principal then they made
वो
it
sir
15
आएंगे?
years because they just want to be they just don't others to let in
सर जो है ना क्या नाम हाँ
सर चलिए अभी है ना somewhere at 10:15 will start है ना okay and what I will do normally I usually open the session but today I requested Ram to open the session because friend should be there so I will be there that is what I'm saying. So I will be there in the window, but he will be asking you to open the session, and we'll be there, and we'll end somewhere at what exactly we are doing for these 3 days. Initially, we started with 10:30, somewhere at 10:30 to 11:30 the session. Then we have a questionnaire session, and in questionnaire session, whoever is there with having any doubts or any query, they just write in that chat box and our one of our faculty Bharti, who is doing she's doing the hosting part. She generally takes 5 or 6 questions from the presentation, and she asks you. We normally we don't allow any of the participant to get entered. And sir, one more thing I would request to you. No, not in chat. That will be a whole session. Whole session means first your
लिंक ही तो भेज दिया मैंने
there,
WhatsApp
and the second
हाँ
part will
भेजिए
be
अभी देखो
question answer. Bharti will ask the question.
मैडम को भी भेज दो
Says that very if someone asks with a good question, we all generally allow them also. And
Obviously.
So basically anything we can do, okay, with artificial, even we can find or predict a person's mood. Is he really from inside he is sad or happy? So those things can also be done, and it has to be done automatically. We don't need to do anything much, but the machine, it may be a robot, the machine may be a computer, it may be a laptop, it may be a mobile, or it may be any device. So we have to just incorporate the information in the device, and it will act as in an intelligent way. Okay, so very simple. Any machine which is intelligent, okay, that is automatically it will make decisions depending on the goal. Now I will give an example. Calculator, okay. So is it an artificial intelligence, AI machine? It is already programmed, okay, we know. We cannot change. We cannot do big calculations in a normal calculator. For example, divide 1.5 trillion by some amount, say 3, 4, 5, 6. Can we do it in a calculator? No. There is some limit, right? And it cannot be changed. A calculator, suppose I want it to compute 2 plus 2 is equal to 6. I cannot do it. Of course, I don't want. Why shall I want 2 plus 2 is equal to 6? But in some scenario, particularly when I come to drug design, we want some things to change. Okay, we want according to our need. So that cannot be done in a calculator, and it cannot do big calculations. And thirdly, it can do, you know, only one calculation only it can know. It is not a multitasking. Okay. So a calculator, we cannot consider it as an artificial intelligence object. Okay, I hope I am clear. Next, coming to Amazon Alexa. All of you are aware of Alexa. So it is also already programmed. You cannot change it, but it can do big calculations. It can divide 1.5 trillion by 3, 4, 5, 6. Many advanced models can do it actually. And wide range of information is available. So starting from weather conditions, what is which city you are there, or starting from travel timing, train timing, flight timings, many things it gives actually. Okay, so it can be considered as a artificial intelligence object, because of course it is programmed, you cannot change, but it can do big calculations. So artificial intelligence not always means that we can change anything in that. We cannot change also, but it can do a wide range of information according to the need. Okay, we no need to change also actually. For in this case, in this scenario, no need to change the programming, but it is an artificial AI instrument. We can call it as a artificial intelligence. So I hope I have been clear between what can we consider as a AI and what we cannot consider as a AI. Okay, so calculator is not a AI. We cannot change, and big things cannot be done. Multitasking cannot be done. Amazon Alexa is there. We cannot change, but big calculations and wide range of information is available. Now, coming to a briefly of the history of artificial intelligence. This term is, you know, first it was coined by John McCarthy in 1956. A very old. It is not the first that the concept may be new, but the term was coined long back. Okay, maybe 70 years back, when he held the first academic conference on the subject. So he, in a AI magazine, the journal name was AI magazine. Okay, so it's nothing new. He proposed, that is Professor John McCarthy proposed a summer research project on artificial intelligence, and later on in 1956 he conducted that project. Okay, this paper is free, you can go through. So what he proposed and all, and from then onwards a lot of development has taken place. and in a step by step, in a graded manner, of course. Now, because when we do artificial intelligence, when we search in internet, or very few books are there actually. So, or when we see artificial intelligence in drug design, then we come with some terms like machine learning, deep learning. Okay, so there should not be any confusion, because sometimes there are many papers, deep learning in QSAR. Okay, I'm talking about now drug designing. Machine learning approach for finding similar molecules, machine learning in docking, artificial intelligence in docking. So what is the basic difference? Either those three terms are same, or what is the difference? So basically, I think this picture gives you an idea about the three things. Machine learning, it is a subset of artificial intelligence. You can call it is a type of artificial intelligence. Deep learning is again another type of machine learning. Okay, again it is another subset of machine learning. Now, what is the basic again difference? Artificial intelligence, anything we perform intelligently is artificial intelligence. Okay, and generally machine learning uses statistical methods to enable machines to improve with experience. This term is important, that I will explain you with a simple example in the later slides. And deep learning, it is a subset of machine learning which makes the composition of multi-layer neural network feasible. Okay, multi-layer neural network. It is again, maybe we'll go through the slides and form. So here what happens in machine learning, type of artificial intelligence, it analyzes large amount of data. It's a type of data mining. Again, you must have all when you search AI, data mining come. Data mining is nothing but to collect data and analyze. It can be any data. It can be activity of drug molecules, binding property of drug molecules, maybe lakhs, crores of drug molecules also you can do. Okay, so that is the advantage of AI. So it is a data mining. Machine learning basically it's a type of artificial analyzes large amount of data. And deep learning, again, it is a type of machine learning. If a machine learning model returns an inaccurate prediction, suppose something inaccurate the machine learning does, the programmer needs to fix. Programmer means the person who is doing it. In deep learning, the model itself done. So you are doing modeling in the sense computer-based modeling. So itself it is it will do in deep learning, but machine learning cannot do it itself. The programmer needs to fix. So deep learning is a type of machine learning where automatically the model will rectify the mistakes. Okay, I will share with you a very simple example. Excuse me. Suppose I have got a torch light. Okay, please listen carefully. Now somebody is coding computer code. Okay, say the code is dark. So code is dark means a person, if he says dark, the torch light will on. Okay, it will switch on. I hope I am able to make the picture well. So it is lighting. Okay, as soon as somebody says to the torch dark, the torch will switch on. So this is possible in deep learning also, machine learning also. Now you come to the complete left, somebody says to the torch, light is dim. Okay, if somebody says the light is dim, so if somebody says the light is dim, the torch will not switch on. Why it will not switch on? Because the code is dark. We cannot, if you say light is dim, it will not switch on. So that is known as machine learning. So in machine learning, again, you have to change the code. What you have to change the code? You have to change the code into light is dim. Then again, it will respond. Okay. Now switch, and coming to this one, in the middle one, you see, if you give a code light is dim, the torch will switch on. That is known as deep learning. Okay. So you no need to change the code. Okay. It will automatically change. So there is no need of changing the code. It will understand by itself, by default. Okay, by default it will understand that light is dim is similar to dark. By default, the machine will understand. That is known as deep learning, means it is in depth. Okay, no need to change the code. In machine learning, you have to again change the code. If little bit here and there happens, the computer will not respond or the machine will not respond. So I hope I am clear what is with machine learning and what is deep learning. Okay, so that's what we have said in the here also. It is a subset of ML deep learning which makes the computation of multi-layer neural network. That is deep. Many neural network will be there. It will analyze in different way, like whatever the possibilities. For dark, it is dim. Light is dim. Light is not sufficient. Anything it can compute. So that is multi-layer. Okay, multi-layer neural network. Multiple things it can analyze at a, it can take into account. That is deep learning. You no need to change, the programmer no need to change anything. Okay, so so this is the deep learning and machine learning. Now coming to drug designing, all of you are from the background of drug designing. You know what is drug designing. So just a brief I will give, and then I will start AI in drug designing. Okay. So artificial intelligence, I hope you have got some background now. What is artificial intelligence? What is machine learning? What is deep learning? And what we can do. Now coming to drug design. Drug design, we know there are basically three types. One is structure-based drug design, ligand-based drug design. That is the famous QSAR. Structure-based means docking, depending on the structure of the receptor or the protein. Okay. And ligand view, this you are well aware of, so I'm not going to spend much more time. And another is de novo drug design. I hope this also you are all aware of. That is depending on the protein structure. I hope from the picture you can make it more clear. That is depending on the active site. Okay, structure, the morphology of the active site, we design molecules. Okay, this is not so famous. Mostly, if you search this, lot of success has been achieved with structure-based drug designing and ligand-based drug designing. Okay, but de novo drug designing, very few success has been achieved. Why? Because it predicts the designed molecules comes from the morphology of the protein. Okay, and sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times, the molecules are very difficult to synthesize. Okay, it will generate some molecules which is we just can't synthesize. Okay, but docking and all, we docking QSAR, we design our molecules, right, in docking, and then we check whether it is binding or not. That structures which can be synthesized we give. So that's why docking and QSAR is more effective because it deals with the reality. Reality means already we have activity, biological activity of these sets, and so it is more popular. So now artificial intelligence has been basically applied to all the three. Okay, we have research papers, very recent research paper 2019 and 2018 one paper is there, which deals with where AI has been applied to all the three things. Okay. Now, so coming to docking, so what is the drawback? Docking is basically it is obsolete now. Nobody is doing. If you just simply publish something docking results and just you synthesize few molecules and you dock and you say that this molecule will be binding, nobody will accept. You have to do the biological activity. Okay, and you have to really prove what you have done. Okay, otherwise nobody is trusting docking actually, and docking success rate has reduced actually. It has reduced from 50 to, previously it was 50% success rate, whatever they used to predict. Now it has come down to 30 to 40% over the years. It's just for docking software. You can just see the pose of the molecule, how it is binding. Of course, many molecular dynamic simulations and various extensions. It has got drawbacks, and I will give an example from our one and see molecule 2. Okay. So why I am giving this example? Because from this you will come to know where AI, artificial intelligence, can improve this. Okay, improve the docking or improve QSAR or de novo drug design. So there is a molecule 1, molecule 2. Molecule 1, the docking score is 7.65, and molecule 2, the docking score is 5.03. So that means this is binding more efficiently with the protein. Okay, some protein is there. Okay, I'm not that is our research study. So what is the score? We have done it as per Siebel docking software. Okay, the score is nothing but minus log of KD, where KD is equal to binding constant. So higher value of total score indicates better binding between ligand and protein. So but when we practically did practically inhibition studies. Okay, whether that particular protein is inhibited by this molecule 1 or molecule 2, biological experimental studies. We saw the IC50 value of this is 2.50 micromolar, and the IC50, this is in nanomolar range actually. Okay, for molecule 2, 0.0004 micromolar means it's a 4 nanomolar. So that means it's just a reverse results. Okay, the results are reverse. And if you see the structures of these two molecule, I hope in the right side there is a resorcinol ring. Here also resorcinol ring. Here there is a imine C double bond N, and the here it is substituted with the benzene ring with 2 OH. Okay, and here it is substituted with the COCH3. Now, why it has shown high docking score? Of course, because of this extra OH group, which is absent in molecule 2, leads to extra H bond. So 2 OH bond, it is of course the amino acids of the protein. We are doing binding studies, right? So binding studies means extra with the OH group. Of course, if we theoretically if we do, it will show some hydrogen bonding, and due to that extra hydrogen bonding, the docking score has increased. So what I mean to say is the software, it is programmed, it is pre-packaged. If there are more hydrogen bonds, increase the score. Now whether those all the hydrogen bonds are necessary for activity or not, we don't know, because some hydrogen bond can have agonistic potential, not antagonistic. When we are saying inhibition, it is antagonistic. So some interaction may have agonistic potential. That software cannot predict for unknown molecules. So these 2 OH groups is not required for binding. See, without these two, it is having more potency. When these 2 OH groups came, it is forming hydrogen bond, but the potency is decreasing biologically. That means the hydrogen bond formation with these 2 OH group is not required at all. Okay, that means software is directing us. So whatever we have to by biological, because when we do docking, we don't know, because we have not checked the activity. We will think this is a very good molecule because docking score is 7.65, and we will try to check this activity more than this. Before this, we will try to synthesize this molecule and check its activity, but again, its reverse may come. So how can you predict this actually? Okay, even for example, now I have got an idea. Now after experimental studies, you know this. Now again, when you do docking, you have to tell the software, don't consider these 2 OH groups while computing docking score. Can you tell the software? Software, don't consider. No, you cannot say. Again, the software will come. Even if you have the knowledge, this 2 OH group is not required for further drug designing, I will remove this OH, still you cannot, software cannot remove that because it is already programmed. It is pre-packaged. Okay. So what can be the, so I hope you understood what is the problem with the molecular docking. So that's what I said. Excess hydrogen bonding between a ligand and protein may not always lead to potent molecules, as few contacts may be detrimental for activity and possess agonistic potential. Okay. So softwares are pre-packaged. Okay. It can't be changed according to our wish. Okay. For example, if we dock lactose, maltose, it has got so many OH group. The docking score for lactose was 9. That is, higher the score, higher the whether lactose will really it will bind to the protein in that way. No, definitely no. We know that. Even we checked also, you know, for lactose, maltose and sucrose, just as a negative control, we have checked the binding efficiency with the protein. Okay, our protein was heat shock protein 90, HSP 90 protein. We have checked the binding whether really, so of course it was showing 0 actually, because the inhibition potential was 0, but docking score was 9. And our docking, it was validated also, you know, we validated the docking with existing drug molecule. There are very process of validation, we validated. And because we use Schrodinger, we use Siebel, and in Schrodinger we were not able to validate our protocol, you know. So we validated in Siebel GeoMx. Again, Siebel has got 4 types. Okay, Geom, GeoMx, Surflex, so and Surflex. So we did it. We validated. Even after validation, these type of problems were coming. Okay, so I just gave an example with the hydrogen bonding. The same can happen with electrostatic forces. It may consider many electrostatic forces which is not required for activity, or it may consider many what you call electrostatic forces and hydrophobic interactions. Okay, theoretically those hydrophobic interactions may not be required to compute as a docking score. Now, so what is the importance of artificial intelligence? You know, softwares are like packed food or restaurant food, you can say. It is convenient but expensive. Okay, you cannot do anything. You have to just eat whatever is there. Okay, even the salt is more, salt is less, you cannot change it. Artificial intelligence is like learning cooking. You learn cooking by yourself. You make your own, whatever you want, you bring rice, you bring salt, you add salt, sugar according to your wish, and then you prepare it. So you decide which interactions will be important. Okay, for drug. So I hope you understand the basic difference between softwares which are already available and what is artificial intelligence. Again, learning cooking is a bit difficult. It takes time, but same, learning AI is bit difficult. I'm saying bit difficult. It takes time, but once if you learn, it will be excellent. Okay, there is no matching comparison for that. So what is happening here nowadays is, you know, research should be the guru and the software should be the shishya. Okay, your research should guide the software. Okay, so I think many lines are coming.
सर गो टू annotations, इरेजर्स वहां से यूज करके आप उसको हटा दीजिए प्लीज.
Clear all drawings है क्या?
हाँ, clear all drawings. Please, I request everybody, don't use annotation.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Continue. Sir.
Okay. So, just a minute. So important. So you know, your research should guide software, or the software should not guide your research. Whatever is present in software, you have to think, you have to understand what is there, and then you do. So that is not the correct way. Okay. So what is the software should not be the guru. Okay. The research should be guru, software should be shishya. So how can I go to the next slide? It's not coming.
You can use the button, sir. You click on the slide. That removes it. Select the pointer from the annotation.
Okay, 1 minute.
Arrow is there. Select the pointer from the. In the annotation, that list select, because you have a point writer there, pencil.
Okay.
Yeah, you select the pointer. There, pointer is there.
I think it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So now artificial intelligence. I hope it is visible. Okay. So
You can go back, sir. Scroll down, or next slide, previous slide also you can show.
okay, I thought nothing. This screen share. This is not coming. One bar is coming at in 1 minute. I hope it is visible clearly, right?
Yeah, it is visible, sir.
Okay, fine.
Slide is
So
visible.
okay. So artificial intelligence, what to apply in drug design? Okay. So for of course I have classified into 3 types, that is docking, QSAR and de novo drug design. So in docking we can use to compute scores by considering few hydrogen bonds or hydrophobic interactions or electrostatic interactions. So whichever is required from practical experimental studies, we have papers published from that or our work. We can decide which interactions are important, and we will tell while computing, please take these interactions, don't take other interactions. Okay. Paper, I have attached the this link, you can go through. This is a paper from my institute, that is KIST, South Korea. They have developed in 2019 they have published in the journal Nucleic Acid Research. Okay, it's an impact factor of around 12, and they have patented this procedure actually. Okay, so you can just go through it, but again, before that you should before reading any paper, please do some background study and go, otherwise you won't understand anything in the paper. Okay, so similarly QSAR, what can we do? We can do parameters such as, Q square, R square, F value. We know various parameters are there. So we can fasten the process. Okay. So we will tell the software, not software actually, we will tell the programming language that these are the parameters. You generate the best test set and best training set model. Okay. You don't need to play every time. In QSAR, we keep on changing automatic until and unless we get a very good Q square, R square. You just give the values. I want Q square, R square of 0.9 or what, F value of 400, 500, and SD, minimum SD and RMSE, etc. And generate the best model for me. Okay. Again, that the same paper has been published and patented from my institute, that is KIST, Natural Informatics Institute actually. So you can just go through. So these are the things we can do. I hope you understand what we can do. Okay, what to apply in drug design, in docking, in QSAR. Then in de novo drug design, what can we do? De novo drug design, we know predicted structure features from receptor morphology. Suppose this is the de novo, we know there is a protein or there is a receptor. There is predicted structural features are there. Okay, depending on the binding site, there is an encoder. So what is this encoder? Encoder will encode into some vector. Vector is a coded language. Okay, so these basics you should learn before you go for studying any paper. So vector is a coded language. It will convert the informations, whatever the structural features required for binding of drug molecules to the receptor or to a protein, into a coded language. And then further, the encoder will convert it into a latent space. What is latent space? Similar data points. Okay, point like this. So which are the similar structural features can exist, at which particular points in the, this is on the receptor active site. So latent space is in the active site of the receptor, and then decoder will decode which structure is important. Okay, so these have been done by de novo by software, but according to your wish, like suppose the original structure when it is coming you cannot synthesize. Okay, so you can give input that please you can give input of a structure and synthesizable structure. So only those structures will come out which you can synthesize. Okay, so it will not generate anything, all you can synthesize it will, but you have to give information to the programming language. You have to give information to the encoder. Okay, so this is the paper which is published in PUB. You can just go through this link, how artificial intelligence has been applied in de novo drug design. Now this, what we have still now seen is what to apply in drug design. I hope you understood what to apply. Now next is how to apply. Okay, how to apply means how can you tell computer remove this bond, remove that bond. Okay, if you simply type in a word or some file, computer will not listen. Okay, or if you just say why remove this bond, I want a f value or a q square r square of this value, please compute it. Computer won't do like that. It's not so simple, right? So for that means you have to tell computer. From this time I was telling from my previous slides, we have to tell computer to encode, decode, or so how to tell. Okay, how can you tell? By programming language. Okay, programming language means there are many programming languages like Java, all of you must have heard from long time back. So coding or scripting. Okay, when Linux has got a script. So I have given an example here, scripting. So can you understand anything? Nothing. Okay, what is this? If I give you this script and if I tell you this is a script, this is script means this is a mode of communication with the computer. Okay, suppose when you go to different countries, like Spain, you go speak Spanish, so you have to speak with them in Spanish. If you go to South Korea, mostly they prefer Koreans. You have to speak in Korean language. So similarly, this is the language of a computer, that is scripting. So simply if it is also like learning Spanish, learning Korean, learning Japanese. It's something like that. Simply if I give you, you cannot understand. Can you apply this? Suppose I have given a script, you just apply it for docking. This is a docking script which I have given you, docking and QSAR. So how to apply that? So for that, we apply through some coded language, and these are some of the language which is important. And whatever you are seeing, it is a very nascent stage. Okay, there is that is programming language which is useful for drug designing prerequisites. Okay, so this for a medicinal chemist, because and this has been this conclusion in this slide what I have written. You don't think I just got it by searching in the internet in 5 minutes. This conclusion has been drawn for 2 months of extensive research and extensive search, extensive debate, extensive deliberation in my institute, KIST. Okay, we discussed a lot. We have medicinal chemists, we have bioinformaticians, because bioinformaticians, for them these are easy because they have background of this. But for a medicinal chemist, we don't have a programming background. Okay, but everybody has to learn everything now. We cannot be always dependent on bioinformaticians. So after a lot of deliberations, we have this is again, it can change with time. We have achieved some success with this programming. That's why we are telling you that this programming language should be known. That is, first is your Python. Okay, Python is a programming language. Next is Perl programming. Perl programming is very, it's not user friendly. Okay, like it's complicated bit what we felt. Python is very easy, so you can start with Python first. Then TensorFlow. TensorFlow in de novo drug designing, in the paper which I have mentioned in the last slides, you can see, check it. Then there is Keras. Keras is a deep learning thing. Then there is R programming, that is R language. R language, all you have to use together, okay? And there are some, R is a statistical programming language, okay? Because statistics is again required. Wherever you go, statistics is required, right? So then there is subsidiary requirement. Subsidiary means like Chemine. It is an online service for analyzing and clustering small molecules. Okay. Then SMILE, Simplified Molecular Input Line Entry System, is a chemical notation that allows the user to represent a chemical structure in a way that can be used by the computer. Okay. So structures that the programming language can take. So you are converting the structure into a coded information. That is what is SMILES. Okay, I think I discussed it here. See, encoder, first arrow. So it is converting the structural information into code. So that SMILES does. So so these are again subsidiary requirement, and again there are many other subsidiaries. Just I have discussed too. These are frequently used subsidiaries, and usually we combine these three, like Python plus R language for statistics plus Chemine. Chemine is for clustering the small molecules. We can use it for docking QSAR. Instead of Python, the paper which we have published from KIST, it is using Perl plus R language plus Chemine. Okay. The paper which I have given you shared, that is Keras plus TensorFlow, de novo drug design, they have used. So it depends on one's requirement, you know, not only drug designing, it applies to any field. So, but before doing anything, we should be well equipped with these languages. What is Python? Any one of the language you can do actually. I will suggest we can start with Python. And first thing, and then maybe R programming, and sometimes there are courses which are there. You can do Python plus R programming, combined courses are there, and sometimes TensorFlow also you can do. So these are the things, you know. So what to do in drug designing, we have seen how to do. How to means it's like programming language, and some statistical softwares and some you know, subsidiaries will be there. So where and how to learn artificial intelligence? This is important. So it is self-learning, I am telling you, and self-application, and through online courses is the best one, because there is no course till now we have not seen artificial intelligence in drug design. Maybe after 2-3 years it may come, if some medicinal chemist who becomes well versed and he can guide something with some sort of course for medicinal chemists. There is no, so there are, and these things you cannot learn in a 2-day workshop or 3-day workshop, or in one hour lecture, or maybe in a 1 month, no, 1 month classes. You cannot learn this thing. Okay, maybe. So it is a continuous learning process. You have to continuously go on learning, and and the best way is to go through the online course platform like edX, Coursera. Okay, IIT Bombay, every IIT has got its own. Even IIT Hyderabad is also having its own online program. IIT Kanpur is having. We know, all are aware of SWAYAM. You can see if the course matches with you or not. There is Udemy. So generally, I have shortlisted some courses. I'll go in the next slide, and where you can go through those courses. Okay, and mostly the courses are free. You know, if you want certificate, you can pay $50 to $100. So that is a less amount. You know, not so much amount to get a certificate. And always I'll say that get a certificate because it's required. And SWAYAM IIT, I think it is ₹1,000 if you need certificate with the exam. Okay, so these things, but you have to choose the platform, and whenever you are choosing, please choose from this programming. See who is teaching you Python, or who is teaching you Perl, who is teaching you TensorFlow. In SWAYAM, there is a very good course on TensorFlow. Python, very good courses are there on edX. Okay, so first, so I have these are some of the courses. You know, Python for research in edX. We have been doing this actually for last 3 to 4 months, and Python programming introduction. Then Coursera is another one where Python, how to machine learning using R. Okay, R is a statistical software, and TensorFlow, deep learning with TensorFlow in edX. This is a very excellent course actually. So deep learning for QSAR studies, high level QSAR studies you can do. So these are the courses you need to do first, basically. Okay, and this nobody will teach you. I'm again telling you. I mean, you cannot expect a classroom teaching and like a software. You know, software companies will come and sit with you and guide you for 1 month. Take this, take that. So it's nothing. It is like learning cooking. Okay, AI. So you have to learn. You have to apply your common sense. You have to learn the language and then apply it for your specific field, for docking or for QSAR or similarity searching, de novo drug designing. So these are the things. Okay. And so what is the advantage of AI? Okay. So the advantage of AI is it is cost effective. Okay, you no need to buy costly software. Software comes for 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs now or more. And if you ask for funding, I am just speaking in terms of Indian R&D view. You are writing a project, maximum we write for 40 lakhs, right? So that is our limitation, 40, 50 lakhs. So in that, if you ask 20, 30 lakhs for designing molecules, so what will happen to the evaluation? So nobody will be encouraging now. You buy a the R&D agencies, except, you know, some big institute or big universities. And they have identified some 100 molecules. And now they have asked for funding to the government. We want to synthesize and check the activity. They will easily get it. Okay. So already you have something with AI. AI is more trustable. Okay. People trust because you are putting your own input. You are cooking, like you are cooking your own food. Okay. According to the need. So that is more, and then so easy to get funding, research funding. Okay. Because whenever you apply for research grant, you must have seen they will, what is the background, what studies you have done related to the funding. Suppose you want funding for cancer, they will ask you what studies you have done, what is your experience on cancer studies. So if you say I have designed molecules with cancer, now I want money to synthesize, anybody will give you actually. And you are not dependent on software. So again, you know, I told it that is a cost effective, and most important is you can do it on Windows platform, a simple laptop, and you don't require many, maybe 8 GB RAM. If you get a little bit faster one is better. 8 GB or 16 GB RAM is excellent, but you can do on a Windows platform. So initially when you start studying with Python, you can download Python in Windows or Perl, R language, anything you can do in Windows. Okay, and basically there's scripting, you know, coding. So learning coding. So coding, everybody has to learn code, you know, like some Sundar Pichai of Google, it is coming some ads that coding is for everybody now. So you can do it in Windows. Sometimes we have used in KIST in Linux operating system. For that, again, Linux you can learn in a 1 month online course. It's not so tough if at all you require to use Linux. Okay, but that is very at a later higher level stage. Okay, Linux scripting is there, but you can use this very easily in Python. Personally, I have used. We have used in KIST, so it's easy. So that is one advantage. Otherwise, you have to again in a system you have to use dual thing you have to do, one Linux and again Windows, and some systems may not support both the things, so a lot of problem comes. So initially you can start with Python IC. Okay, and my suggestion will be enroll in a course first and then read journal paper. Don't read, you simply don't start AI. Really, if anybody is interested in AI, first enroll in a course. I have already given some list of courses. Python, that is from our personal experience. Okay, personal experience of a medicinal chemist. We have arrived at conclusion with lot of research, lot of debate, lot of discussion. Trust me. it was not easy for us also to start at for time by reading papers and all. So first those courses at least start with Python. Okay, and R language. Sometimes there are combination of many good courses keeps coming, so please check it. This I have checked 2 days back also. So the courses are same. Python and R language combination. Some courses are there, and Python for research. So what I have given you. So start with Python and R language first, and then start applying in your field by reading journal paper. Okay. And collaborate with labs working with artificial intelligence in drug design worldwide. There is a very famous US lab is there. You can contact me or you can search also. Our lab is also doing, our team actually, not my lab, my team is doing. Lab team is different, again my team is a bigger one. That is natural product informatics team. Their bioinformatics group is there, medicinal chemist group is there. So I am in a medicinal chemist group. So there you can collaborate. First time when we apply, it will be difficult. You learn Python and everything, but when you want to apply, then it may become difficult. So you can ask for help. So people are nice. Researchers are really very nice. If you just put a mail, my personal experience, I have collaboration with Argentina when I was in India. I have collaboration with UK. Now I am in Korea. So people respond. If that's it, if your interest should be there. First time if you mail 2-3 times with proper request, people respond. People will help you, trust me. And if you always you can come to us also, whatever possible help from our side also we can help you. So but first learn the course. Okay, Python and R language, my suggestion. And then try to get funding, because all of you, everything you do, if you don't synthesize the molecules and evaluate, then it's all useless. Okay, you have to justify, the things, right? So otherwise these things becomes useless. So try, definitely anybody will give you funding for any, if you say I have done AI and designed molecules. So it may take 6 months to complete a course, and then application another 6 months. Okay, so maybe in 1 year you can be slowly first do docking or similar to docking, or first do QSAR. It's in your own area of field. Okay, so that you have to decide what you want to do. Okay, and then you can proceed fast. It is at a very nascent stage right now. Okay, all the papers start from 2018, 19, 20. So there are n number of papers you can get actually, and n number of many labs are working actually in US, in Sweden, in Switzerland, in South Korea also, in Germany. So many are working, and many will be help you also. So this is my contact, like anything, anytime, WhatsApp, Kakao Talk, Telegram. The same number is there with Indian number. So anytime you can contact me, because if you, now I am right now in India, but I will go to Korea once the flight starts. So that time this number may not work. Okay, so you can contact me anytime. This is my mail ID. One is permanent email ID ready for another. You can contact me my institutional ID also. So anytime, any sort of help, I am there. Rather, we are there. My institute is very helpful. My institute has got a IndoKIST in Bangalore. Anybody from Bangalore is there, you can visit that KIST. My institute KIST is having branch world over. Okay, in Canada, US, Europe. So in Bangalore also, IndoKIST is there. So they are in a collaborative mode always. So anybody really interested, you can contact us. Okay. So thank you. I hope I am able to give something constructive to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
You can ask questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, we start with Praveen Parkali, who has raised hands for question answer session. Mr.
Okay.
Praveen Parkali.
Bharti, did you find anything in chat box?
No, sir.
No.
Chat box, shall I see?
Yeah,
Sir,
you
there
can-
is no question in chat box.
Okay. If any one of you wants to drop your question on the chat box, you can please drop, because this is the question hour round.
Yeah, please, anybody can ask any question. If you have any doubts or
you can just raise your hands. We'll get you in.
Sir,
Yeah,
Ashwini Mishra sir raising hand for question.
He is my
I think.
Ashwini Mishra from Barkatullah University.
Yes. Ashwini, please
Yeah,
drop a
go ahead.
question on chat box. Ashwini,
Sir, I think unmute करना होगा.
Bhati, it's big crowd. कहाँ ढूंढना पड़ेगा?
I think they can drop a question in the chat.
Yes,
and then
that is
get
what
a
requested.
lot of confusion will be there, I think.
Yes. नहीं,
Sir,
actually,
there is one question from Mohit Motivale.
yeah.
Okay.
One second, sir.
लिख ही नहीं देगा क्वेश्चन क्योंकि उसमें
Dr. Sandeep Ride, ligand-based drug design.
Yes.
What is ligand-based drug design?
He has asked this, what is ligand-based drug design?
Yeah.
Ligand-based drug design is nothing but QSAR, you know, it depends on the structure of the ligand. Okay. The structure of the ligand means the molecule. So that is nothing but QSAR, what we do. That is ligand-based drug design.
One very good
So-
question, that is whether the biochemist has any opportunity in AI.
Yeah, very good question. Very good. See, my institute, I'll tell you, it is a natural product informatics institute. Okay, it will give your answer. Okay, so there is a medicinal chemist, there is a MSc biotechnology, biotechnology background, B pharmacy, M pharmacy background like me. Okay, there is a biochemistry background for. Okay,
Okay.
so all are working together and all are having different, of course, the research ideas. New drug discovery only. I am the first one to start new drug discovery project from NRF, National Research Foundation of Korea there. Otherwise, they were involved in some other studies. So all are having, even biochemist, you have to find in your field. Like for medicinal chemist, we predict activity. Okay, we predict docking by binding efficiency, or we predict QSAR studies we do. So in your field, in biochemist, in your specialization, okay, what you are specialized again in biochemistry, whether any theoretical prediction is there, okay, whether you predict something theoretically, so you can apply AI there. Okay, any theoretical prediction you are doing in biochemistry, so you can apply AI. Anything, people are finding whether the people is sad or happy, that also people are doing. So why not a biochemist? So that you have to find out where you want to apply. What is your research scope? Okay, I hope I able
Yes,
to.
sir. Yes, sir. Very good. Sir, any language to learn that machine learning? Any best language you prefer to learn that machine learning part?
Yeah, I told already. Python. I have shared the.
Yes, sir. I had seen Python and
Python for
Python and
research.
TensorFlow.
Python and TensorFlow. But
Yeah.
first, my suggestion will be go for Python and
Yeah.
R. R is because it is a substitute. Without R, you cannot manage. Only so Python and some combined courses are also there. Okay, like machine learning using R and Python. So both of starting you can do with these two, and then gradually you can go for TensorFlow. My suggestion, from our experience, again we are also very new actually last, so but we have been achieved success like this. So you can start with Python and R. Okay, and one more thing, you
Yes.
please try to join some course. These courses also, these are basics where live projects will be there. You tell, they will do live project. They will help you in doing live projects. Okay, so live projects according to your need, like QSAR or whatever it is, de novo drug design. So before enrolling in a course, you can for 1 month you can evaluate the course. You can go through that option is there in EDX and all. 1 month you can evaluate whether really it is suiting you or not. You can go through the course content, course videos, and all are very, whatever the course I have given, it is from Harvard University, Cambridge, or IBM. So EDX, Coursera, Udemy, they have got excellent. And sometimes you need to pay 500 rupees for a course, 420 rupees. Okay, that is nothing. And for certificate, yes, that is separate, like $50 to $100. So that's okay. You can pay and you can enroll.
I understand, sir. Sir, lastly, I would like to conclude this. First and foremost, thank you so much for coming with us for this 3 days workshop, and especially on the virtual platform, because to be there on the virtual platform with a large number of people, it is always being a task. It is always being a task on the actual mode also. But
No, it's okay.
to be very honest with you and your presentation, I would really acknowledge you. The best part of your presentation that you had shared your experience. You had not shared your
Yeah.
knowledge. Along with your knowledge, you had shared your experience, because experience always counts. Knowledge may be a part of book also, but that experience is always comes. That you always insisted people to join first and then to learn the
Yes, yes, that is
research
important,
papers.
because you can do n number of workshop or whatever it is, but you have to do yourself now. AI
That
is
is,
like something like that.
of course, that is what you have learned in your career, and that is
Yeah,
what
because
the experience is all about.
when we read the papers,
Yeah.
nothing went inside for 1 week. What is going on?
I understand,
So
sir.
then we again
This is how
went back and
this is how you are just making that valuable time to not to waste. I always
yeah,
thanks to you, sir, because what is all about is your experience only. Because if you
yes,
are
yes, right.
sparing your very USPs with the participants, that means you are sharing everything to them. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Once
sure. Any
more.
questions, please?
The sir has already shared his WhatsApp number along with his email IDs. If anyone is having any query regarding the use of artificial intelligence, because you people won't believe that IoT is the next future generation. So in that terms, to be familiar with artificial intelligence and to be very familiar with in your professional life is always excel you. So once again, I will be thankful to Dr. Shyandata, and his number is there. His email ID is there also. He is very cooperative in all those sense. So thank you once again,
Yeah, yeah.
sir.
Anytime you can contact,
Yes, sir.
any help, I'll be always ready to help actually.
Thank you once again, sir. Bharti, you may
Okay.
close the session, and
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
every participants were asking to if you can share the PPT with us.
Yeah, sure.
sir,
How to share? Shall I
sir,
send?
you just drop an email to us. We'll share on the group.
Okay, you just share your email ID.
Sir, you
So
please
I
send to
will share
Pram.
the
Yeah,
PPT.
yeah. We'll do on
No
later on.
issue. It's
Okay.
not a,
Okay,
it's
sir.
maybe it's not a big deal. It's
What
okay.
what
Thank
exactly
you.
happens, sir? Sometimes they are using that mobile, and mobile graphics is too small to read out. So that is just for the sake of
Yeah,
their.
no, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. It's not a problem. But if they're using the PPT somewhere, they should acknowledge. That's it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
So right now we are just at the end of first day this first session, and we'll be there a break for half an hour for the lab presentation of biodiscovery. And I would request all the participants to be there in the valedictory form, because there will be a fellow, Mr. Dr. Sangameshwar. He will be joining us in the valedictory, as well as the VC of Barkatullah University. He is also joining in the valedictory, and followed with that you will have your feedback form. And thank you once again. Thank you, sir. See you.
Okay.
We'll meet
Okay.
in
Thank
half
you
an
very
hour
much.
session.
It was
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Bharti. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank
We
you.
are ending here.
Yeah. Right. Thanks.
Okay.